Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
So there's young me thinking, I turned to my mum, I remember this, I went, Mum,
Santa gonna rob me, mama.
why Santa left me a knife? Is he coming to kill me or something tonight?
This is the Reds Down Under podcast, the best place to follow the Reds in Australia. Enjoy the show.
We are the Reds Down Under, and this is our podcast.
Hello Reds, this is Tom from Reds Down Under, and this week we've got a bit of a different podcast for you. We will look, of course, at that Spurs win and the sort of ups and downs in that game. And we'll also look ahead to the Wolves game as well, which is coming up next weekend, just after Christmas. And then we have pre-recorded a Christmas special with myself, Jack and Wayne. So basically we just had a bevy and talked about whatever we wanted to talk about. So that'll be coming up in a little bit. Let's jump straight into the Spurs game. A big win for Liverpool, I thought, and no matter what is happening in the sort of landscape, White Hart Lane or Tottenham Stadium or whatever they call it now is always a tricky place to go, especially when you're Liverpool, because Spurs are always going to try and pick up, their game for that. I thought Spurs actually were pretty solid for most of the game. I think that they lost a lot of the ball a lot of times, and I think that was because Liverpool had a really good press in moments, and we've been a little bit critical on this podcast about Liverpool's press this season, and I just think whatever Arne Slot has done has really helped the press, has really helped our defensive shape. Spurs did create moments in the game, don't get me wrong. Obviously they got their goal through Richarlison, who is probably like up there at the moment with the most hated man at Anfield. He just loves scoring against Liverpool, doesn't he? And he doesn't seem to score against anyone else. But we did create a couple of moments, and we needed our goalkeeper Alisson Becker to make some good saves. But I thought in general, we really stopped the threat in the wide areas, and that was something we talked about last week, because they've got Jed Spence, who, by the way, is showing that he's a real player. This guy, this Jed Spence, I really like him. And Pedro Porro on the right, who's obviously got tons of quality and great delivery. And I think that we really stopped those threats well in the game. Isak getting his goal was fantastic, and I think that's been something which we've all sort of dreamt about as Liverpool fans since the summer, is that connection between Wirtz and Isak. And in that goal, in that moment, it's a great little bit of play. We win the ball back off a good bit of pressing from McAllister, and the ball is great from Wirtz. It looks like a simple ball, but it's a perfect pass for Isak, and he puts it in. And obviously he got injured after that, and we'll talk about that in a second. But it was a great goal for Isak, and that's the sort of thing that we want from the player. But to focus on Wirtz just for a second, I mean, I wrote some stats down from the game, and he gets his first Premier League assist. He had 105 touches on the ball, which was second only to Curtis Jones, who had a great game himself. He had a 91% pass completion rate, which for a player in the final third of the pitch is pretty excellent, I think. And he had the most touches in the opposition box, which I think was 7. So Florian Wirtz has continued to show over the last couple of weeks. We talked about it last week, but it's really starting to show what sort of footballer he's going to be. And to be honest with you, I think he's absolutely majestic. I think he's brilliant. I think he's absolutely fantastic. So I think if Liverpool can keep him moving in that direction, it's only going to be a good thing, because I think he and Curtis Jones seem to have hit it off. McAllister's form's picking up a little bit now, and I think that those three players, Vert, McAllister and Curtis Jones, are really quite creative players. And I think if we can keep them sort of ticking along nicely and gelling, I think it's only going to be good for Liverpool. I think we'll score more goals as time goes on. So Florian Wirtz was absolutely excellent. Ekitike is just the man. He's just the man. He's scored 11 goals now in all competitions this season. One in the Community Shield. So let's say it's 10 in all competitions so far this season. We're only under halfway of the season so far as well. So Ekitike is proven that he can lead the line in this Liverpool team, and obviously we're going to need him in this period now with Isak being out. And he scored 8 goals in 16 Premier League games so far. So he's got a 1 in 2 game average, which, if you're not Haaland, is a pretty exceptional rate, I would say. So Ekitike was fantastic. Liverpool were lucky in the game in some ways and unlucky in other ways. The red card for the foul on Virgil van Dijk was a clear red card for me. I didn't think it was at the time. When I first seen the tackle, I didn't think it was a red card foul, and clearly when you look at the replay, it's a red card. And I think that at the time really put Liverpool in control of the game. We went and brought Isak home. We got the goal. We got the second goal, and I thought actually the second goal really spurred Spurs on. They came out the blocks then, and they really wanted to try and hurt Liverpool, and I thought we restricted them really, really well. And then the second red card, Romero. You know, we've talked about crazy decisions by players this season because unfortunately it's happened a few times to Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk's handball and Ka-Fey having a shocker and things like that. Crazy moments, crazy decisions. But then we got one in our favour against West Ham where Paqueta just wouldn't shut up and got sent off. And this one, Romero kicking out at Ka-Fey was another crazy decision for the player to make, and a red card. And to be honest, when they had 9 men, I thought, right, we'll control this and we'll pick them off. But actually, Spurs grew into the game, and to be honest, in the last couple of minutes there was 9 minutes added on. Spurs really looked like a genuine threat. And we looked a little bit rocky, but I think really I was a bit nervy, but I think there's a little bit back in me now, which had gone, which I thought we'll hold on to this. We'll hold on to this and we'll win this football match. And that always hasn't been the way this season. We did win the football match. A couple of difficult things to take on board. Frimpong got a cut in his mouth, which I thought was hilarious. He went around telling everyone that he got a cut in his mouth, but hopefully he'll be all right. His legs are working anyway, which is the most important thing. Dominic Szoboszlai getting a yellow card and a suspension for the next game against Wolves, and then obviously the Isak injury. I've read a couple of things online about people talking about Mickey van der Ven should have received a red card for his tackle on Isak for when Isak scored the goal, and I really don't agree with that at all. I really don't agree with it. Like, the player has to try and make a challenge to stop the goal, and obviously he's got a lot of momentum. He goes into the tackle, and I think it's really unlucky that Isak's been injured. And I think just because a player breaks his leg, which is obviously not what anyone wants, especially when it's our player, but when a player breaks his leg, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a red card. So, but Isak is now out, and I think it leaves Liverpool in a really difficult position because let's just say we continue to go the way we go, or the way we have been playing. Say we go Ekitike up the middle, Vert on the left, and basically he has to play on the left because Gakpo's out. And then on the right, where we've been playing Szoboszlai, is a bit of a gap, isn't it? Because Szoboszlai's going to miss the Wolves game. Salah's away at AFCON, and the gaffer obviously doesn't trust Chiesa from the start, and I think maybe it's a bit too soon for young Rio as well. So I think there is a little bit of a problem there. Frimpong's came back in, and I would expect him to play against Wolves. I think the Wolves game is a real opportunity for Liverpool just to go and continue form. So we've won 3 on the bounce now in all competitions. We're unbeaten in 6 in all competitions. And I know a couple of them are draws, but unbeaten in 6 starts to sort of solidify Liverpool's position as a solid football team again. And we go into that Wolves game, and I think it's literally just the case of winning the football match. And then we've got a couple of other tough games, I think, against Leeds and Fulham, but games, again, that you would expect us to go and win. So I think if we can get through that Wolves game, it's going to continue to build more confidence. But people have been asking me, with Salah away, with Isak injured now, with Gakpo injured, should Liverpool go and sign Anton Semenyo? And we spoke last week, I think. I was talking about players options that we have to bring in January, and Semenyo for me will be a fantastic choice if we could get him. And the news that I've been reading on Sky Sports is that he wants to come to Liverpool. There's a gentleman's agreement in place that when Liverpool come in, he'll sign for Liverpool, and I think he'd be a cracking player for Liverpool. He can play on the right, he can play on the left. We could play him down the middle if we wanted to. He's got bags of energy. He's a big lad. He's strong. He dribbles. He takes players on, and he's coming from a team where he feels really buoyant at the moment, and I think that will be a great thing to bring into the football team. You know, to bring in that extra little bit of confidence. A player who hasn't been having a challenging time this season. I know Bournemouth haven't been great, but Semenyo's still been a good player. So I think Semenyo will be a fantastic signing, and then when Salah comes back, well, whether he comes back to Liverpool from AFCON or not, it gives Liverpool a little bit more strength in those areas. So I think Liverpool should go and get Semenyo if they can. £65 million, I think, is good money. It's good money for Bournemouth, and it's good money for Liverpool, and I think it'd be a fair deal. So whether we will go and get him remains to be seen. But Liverpool have got a big January coming up, and I mentioned those games: Wolves, Leeds, Fulham, 3 winnable games. Go and get your 9 points, and then we've got the FA Cup in there as well against Barnsley, which is a game you expect to win, but the squad is looking a little bit threadbare at the moment. And then you've got Arsenal, and I think if we can go into that Arsenal game, what would that be? That would be unbeaten in 9 or unbeaten in 10 by the time we play Arsenal, and have won a big chunk of those games. I think our confidence would be up, and I'm not saying we're going to hunt Arsenal down and win the Premier League this season. It seems a long way off, but football's a funny old thing. In those games in between that, Arsenal could drop a couple of points, and let's just say by the time you play Arsenal, it's down to 8 points, the difference between the two teams. And if Liverpool can go to the Emirates and win that game, it goes down to 5 points. It will keep Liverpool in touching distance a little bit, and rather than thinking of fourth, still thinking of first. And I think that can help you drive forward, because I think the battle for fourth is going to be really tight this season.
Well, I am sorry to interject, Reds, but no. Go on, you then.
Reds, thank you so much for watching so far. I hope you're enjoying it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all of that sort of stuff. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
and YouTube.
And of course YouTube, yeah. So keep an eye out for content. We've got loads coming up in the future. If you haven't already seen it, have a look at the George Sephton, the Voice of Anfield interview that We did 54 years as the stadium announcer, so he's an absolute legend, isn't Jack? Wolves are a football club that, to be honest, I absolutely love. I spent a lot of time living in Caneth down there, and I went to a couple of Wolves games, and I've got a massive soft spot for Wolves. They're having a really, really difficult time this season, but they do have players who can offer genuine threat. And I think Liverpool have to be up for it. They have to be up for it. Wolves will, I think, look to play on the counter-attack as much as possible. They do have plenty of pace, and they've definitely got threats in that squad. You know, Stan Larsen, Bellegarde. They've got two good midfielders for sure in Andre and in Gomez. So Wolves won't. I know they've had a difficult season, but they won't roll over. They nearly got a point at the Emirates there, and I think Arsenal got lucky to win that football match in the end. So Liverpool have to be prepared to fight in that game, and I think if we do show a bit of fight, I think we'll have far too much quality, and I think we'll overthrow them. I'm going to say 3-0 Liverpool. I think it's about time that we go and have a nice, comfy win. What else have we got to talk about? Oh, I wanted to talk quickly about fake news. So last week on the podcast, I said that I was bamboozled by the fact that Liverpool had banned Jamie Carragher from going to Anfield. Turns out that was fake news, and I completely got stumped by it, which is super embarrassing, because I not only said it on the podcast, but then I edited it into a social video and put it up, and like the first 5 comments were like, "Mate, this is fake news," and I was like, "What?" And then I looked into it deeper and deeper, and I was like, "This is fake news." So thanks for the people who commented on the video and said, "Hey mate, this is bullshit." But it reminded me of a funny fake news story, because I remember in 2010 there was a lot of talk about Liverpool getting Wesley Sneijder from Inter. There was huge talk on it, and even Wesley Sneijder's wife tweeted something about it, saying something, I can't remember, but she put fuel on the fire, and all the talk was that Liverpool were going to get Sneijder. There was scouts seen at the San Siro, and all this was happening. It was like, this is going to happen. We're going to get this player. And then Liverpool signed Coutinho, which was completely unexpected, I think, for all fans. I don't think anyone knew who Coutinho was at the time. And it turns out that the Sneijder rumour had been started by a couple of lads in the Boozer, who then went on to tell everyone that Liverpool were after Sneijder. And that's exactly what happened. So yeah, fake news. I got fake news. Don't get fake news. It's embarrassing. Right, up next we've got the Christmas special, but before we get there, I just wanted to thank Ka-Fey in Newcastle, who were really welcoming a couple of weeks ago when I went there for the Inter game, and they show all the morning games, all the Liverpool morning games there, and they are the home of the supporters club in Newcastle for those games. And if you go in there, all our posters and everything are up, and the same can be said for Cheers Bar, who for months now have been a fantastic partner for the podcast. All the posters are up everywhere. They share our social posts, like our social posts, and when we go there to watch the game with the New South Wales Supporters Club, they're just absolutely excellent with us, and they treat us really, really well. So thank you to Vanessa and Cheers Bar, because you guys have been absolutely amazing. We're going to continue to make content over Christmas. Obviously, there's so many games coming on at the moment for Liverpool. I hope you enjoy this Christmas special. We enjoy recording it. And we'll see you very, very soon. Up the Reds.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
This episode is made so that you've got something to watch over Christmas in between all of the stuff that you've got to do with the family.
Yeah, the gooch. Between.
So obviously, I'm with Jack here, and we've got Wayne in Adelaide. How you doing, Wayne?
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. Looking forward to a nice Christmas break coming up and talking absolute nonsense with you guys for the next hour or so.
Well, that sounds good. So obviously we've got the weekly show where we talk about everything that's happening this week.
Yeah.
But we're actually recording the weekly show tomorrow, so we won't bother talking about all the stuff that's happening.
Because I'm flying to England.
Yeah. Well,
Back to Liverpool.
yeah. So this is just general chit chat, really. We're having a bevy. We're having
Give a little cheers. Go ahead.
we're having a Bailey.
The Reds. Go ahead.
Wayne's drinking straight water.
I've had 2 lacties, mate, so that cream won't get me. That
Responsible.
cream will not get me, mate.
We might have to stop halfway through for our kids' lacties if it doesn't help. Christmas is coming up. Jack, we'll get to you in a second. Wayne, can I just ask you a question? And I'm not taking the mick when I ask this. Obviously, Wayne's a little bit older than us.
Yeah. More tenured is how I said.
More
George
tenured.
Sephton.
Oh, not to be
Yeah.
your parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, stop saying it, lad. Yeah. Stop saying it.
Anything's possible, yells. But I wanted to know what it was like, because obviously we grew up in the UK, you grew up in Australia. I imagine when you grew up, it was a lot like sort of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol way back then. Is that what it was like?
Yeah. All right, it's not that bad. Yeah, it was.
You boy, what day is it, boy? All that.
No, but Christmas for us is, I've got Maltese parents, so, pretty strong Catholic upbringing. So it was pretty, like strict tradition and family time, lots of food. But no, it was always good. And we got to actually open our presents at after midnight mass. We didn't wait till the morning, so that was always a bonus. I'll tell you a quick little funny story. You might not find it funny, anyway. When I was little, we'd go to midnight mass, and my mum, before we would leave, she would leave some like cotton wool just on the windowsill to show that Santa Claus had come and visited me, visited the house. And I remember getting back one year from midnight mass, and I went to the bedroom, and there was the cotton wool on the windowsill, but also it was a very sharp knife. All right. Now, I didn't know what that meant. Well, my mum had put it there because she was scraping out some dirt and cleaning. She left the knife there, right? So there's young me thinking, I turned to my mum. I remember this. I went, Mum,
Santa gonna rob me, mama.
why Santa left me a knife? Is he coming to kill me or something tonight? So I didn't have a very good Christmas that night because she didn't want to reveal that it was her. But yeah, so there you go. Silly
So
story.
something we've never discussed on the pod is obviously Wayne, your background is Maltese, and
Yeah.
Tom and I spent a lot of our childhood in Malta. Our father and our grandfather worked in Malta for most of our childhood lives, didn't they?
Yeah. Up until I was like, I don't know, I guess it would have been like 5 or 6.
I think we were a bit older. I think it was like 8 or 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think I was there from like 6 months old to whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
To 9. Yeah. So but you were older, so maybe 8 or 9, then me 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Malta.
And then we went back like 15 years later for a holiday. And we were gutted because like we didn't get a welcome parade or nothing. No one remembered who we were.
Right, it was a different place. And then when me and Abs, my future darling bride, Abs, we went back in 2016.
Yes.
And we got off the plane and called a cab, and I wanted to go back to our old family house, our old family home. Which
Whereabouts was that, Jack? Just out of
I will butcher this now. I would call it Beji Buddha, but it's not called Beji Buddha.
Oh goodness me! Hang on, I know.
It's not Beji Buddha.
I know.
It
I know what
sounds
you're
like
talking
that.
about.
It's close.
Does he?
Beja Bouja.
Yeah.
I'm probably even butchering that myself.
But
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
our dad would call it that, and the cab driver was like, "Hey, my friend, you don't want to go there. Why do you want to go there?" And I was like, "Because that's my family home. That's where we want to go." And he was like, "Okay, but stay in the car." So he took us, and me and the missus stayed in the car. We went past the house. But like childhood-wise, when I was 6 months old, I was walking in a big marble home. I broke my leg. and my mum takes me to the hospital, and they're like, "Oh no, the baby's fine. The baby's fine." I broke my leg in 2 places, which is why I never played for Liverpool, and I'm here right now talking about Liverpool. But yeah, we love Malta's such a big part of our lives, isn't it? Even
There you go.
Nan and Grandad and
Yeah, me nan and granddad
Malta.
were there. And,
love Malta.
like we always used to go to the Playmobil factory.
Yeah,
Remember that?
massive over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they never had Kinder Bueno at that time in England, but there was Kinder Bueno in Malta.
Yeah.
So when we come back and we bring Kinder Bueno and stuff, everyone will be buzzing with that. That's how you make mates, you know what I mean? You give out free chocolates.
Chocolate.
Well, I mean, like my parents, obviously, Malta, British colony and everything. So like, the whole Commonwealth thing was pretty big in our household growing up. So we watched a lot of British TV. I grew up, all the comedy shows that you could, that your grandparents and parents probably would have watched. I grew up on them. So, your Monty Pythons, your Two Ronnies, your, Fawlty Towers, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so it was a big, big, big part of our lives. And I, unfortunately, have only been back to Malta once. I was born here, but I've only been once, and that was 2007. We were going to go a couple of years ago, but then COVID hit. And then we, of course, that holiday money was spent on renovating the house, and now we're Pobo. But but we will go back. I've got, obviously, a lot of family there. A lot of family who are big Liverpool fans. So lots of messages back and forth between us.
But yeah, for those way now, that's a place that holds like a big one in our hearts, isn't it, Malta? It's a huge place in our hearts. And even when I went back 2016 or 15 or 16 with the missus for our like first proper holiday, that actually felt like going home. Yeah. The first time I've like gone somewhere and been like, oh no, this actually feels like home. So yeah, Malta.
That's how I felt. Exactly how I felt. It's like, you go back and you think, I wasn't born here, but there's just so much.
That's where your family, that's your history.
Yeah, it is. And it's like, I fit right in. I actually nearly moved there back. I obviously had my son here at the time, so I didn't. But I spent 10 weeks there and it was just awesome. Got the meanest tan ever. I was single at the time, but we don't need to go into other details.
I think there's enough said on
There's
that
enough,
one.
there's enough said, yeah.
Beautiful people, because obviously where Malta is, it's in like the heart of the Mediterranean, but then it's so close to North Africa, so it's got so many influences, hasn't it?
It does.
Like heavily Catholic, but then there's Arabic influences and everything. So the people of Malta are beautiful.
Sicily, 90 kilometers, just
beautiful people.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened to Wayne, but look, there's gonna be one bad apple in the cart, hasn't there? You were talking there, Wayne, about all them sorts of shows that you used to watch, and that was exactly the stuff I was raised on. Porridge, Only Fools and Horses,
Fawlty Towers is your
Fawlty Towers,
isn't it?
love Fawlty Towers. All of them are great shows. What about Christmas films, mate? Like, what would your go-to Christmas film be?
As in now, when I was little.
Both. What did Little Wayne like?
Yeah,
Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
What do you used to?
What did Lil Wayne like?
I used to watch these really bad. I can't remember their names, but they're like these really bad clay animation, like the Christmas movies. And then probably as you get a little bit older, my favorite Christmas film is, to be crazy, it's Gremlins. Remember that movie, right?
I've never seen it.
I've seen Gremlins, yeah.
Great film. Love that film. Gremlins is probably my favorite. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Die Hard, but I rarely ever watch it on Christmas because it's like everyone does it. So for me, it's the family watch that. We might watch Home Alone. My wife loves Love Actually. Kind of over that film. I know it's a favorite of yours, Tom.
I love it, man. I love Love Actually. It's so good.
What else? What else do we watch for Christmas? That's really about it. A couple of years ago, we kind of watched that Polar Express film, and then the kids are like, "We don't want to watch that film ever again." So, all right, fair enough.
For Polar Express,
yeah,
Tom has always been the kid in the Polar Express for me. So when I was like really little, Tom looked like that kid with his like dressing gown or house coat on or whatever you call it. But Tom looked like that kid for me. So in my head, Tom is the kid in the Polar Express.
I've like I can't remember.
I don't think I've ever said that to you, but
No.
yeah, for me, you are.
It's
you're
good. It's like therapy.
yeah.
What about you? What was your Christmas go-to, Jack?
Elf. Elf is fantastic. I think Home Alone I've kind of started stealing away from. Like I love them films growing up, 1 and 2. Lost in New York is actually better, but I've started stealing away from. But Die Hard for me is the ultimate Christmas film. That yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
We quote that film so many times. Die Hard. We
Yeah.
quote the song.
Let's
Hey,
get
lads,
together.
Let's get together.
Head out to the coast.
Have a few laughs, have a few good times, a few laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Die Hard's great,
Yeah.
man. And you know, people argue it's not a Christmas film.
It
It
is.
definitely is because
It is.
it wouldn't exist. The plot wouldn't exist without
Yeah.
Christmas.
At Nakatomi Plaza, which for some backstory for the listeners, we had a quiz. My in-laws were over from Liverpool. We were having a great time. And Tom does a quiz. Tom's very good at a quiz. Everyone knows from Reds Down Under, Ticket to the Max, the big Liverpool quiz we do. Tom does a quiz every family meeting, gathering, one of it. And one of the questions was, what is the name of the building in Die Hard? And I said Nakatomi Tower. And he didn't give me because it was Nakatomi Plaza. And I'll be honest, Tom's going to be the best man at my wedding, and our relationship's never really recovered way now from that.
Yeah, but it wasn't right.
Yeah, but
If I asked a trivia question on Reds Trivia and the answer was Manchester United, and you said Manchester City.
if he's a gluten, they wouldn't give it, would they?
Yeah, so I've got to say this on the pod, because when we did a trivia last week, or the other week,
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and I asked the question, who did Xabi Alonso score from the half in his own half in the FA Cup, right? And the answer was Luton. But apparently, I never actually said the answer on the pod.
Yeah. Never. Not once.
So I apologise.
Me and the missus in bed listening to it, and I call him up and I go, you never gave the answer. And he's like, no, what do? We keep listening. I'm like, you don't. You don't.
He scored another one from the halfway line. Was that against Newcastle?
Yeah.
Newcastle, yeah.
That's right.
Harper was in goal, I believe.
Yeah, Steve Harper, yeah.
Trying to think of another good. Hang on, there's another good Christmas film. Actually, we've watched one a couple of years ago. That new one with the what's his name, Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. What was it called? Spirited.
Spirited. Yeah.
Yes, and my kids were basically. There's a scene. I don't know if you've seen the film, but there's a scene in it where basically when they're back in time, like in the long time ago, and when you say, is it good morning or good afternoon to someone, it's basically like saying F off. So my kids are just gone and saying good afternoon, good morning like, to each other. I'm going, yeah, maybe that's not a good thing to do at Christmas, kids. But yeah,
These kids are a menace these days.
Do you like the Grinch? Why now? You got the green on. Do you like the Grinch?
yes and no. When I
It
was
scary
younger,
for me when I was a kid.
I was a big horror film. I mean, I still am like horror film buff. So I finally watched one last year called Krampus. So it's based on, I think, is it Norwegian or kind of fable that if you're naughty, the demon or something, Krampus will come and basically just take
He's a goth
take your
way now,
children.
isn't he?
It's
He's a
good.
goth way now.
Do you think he's a goth?
He's a goth way.
You reckon?
He's a goth.
No,
He's a goth.
You can't see it if you're listening to this podcast, but Wayne has got black eyeliner on.
To be audio, isn't it?
He's wearing big black
He
boots.
looks like Marilyn Monroe. Anyway, little sippy time.
Yeah, let's
Jack
have
and
a look.
Tom,
Let's have a look.
brothers,
There
Baileys. Go away,
There you
Christmas.
go. Wayne's
Anyone
on,
at
Wayne's
home?
on the wall there.
Have a
Can I
drink
just
with
say
us in 5,
Baileys?
4, 3, 2, and 1.
Cheers.
Baileys.
And if you don't drink, don't worry about it. Don't
Have a
pick
water.
up a drink.
Have a water.
Have a water.
And water, like me, like Wayne. There you go.
Yeah.
This one of
Baileys.
those
Can I just say
times.
Baileys. Like,
Yeah.
this is a shocking drink. Sorry.
Oh, Wayne, as a man who's lactose intolerant, it's my biggest nightmare is a Baileys. But there's a tablet called Lactase, and this is not an ad. And I've had 3 of them, so we should be all right.
I'm not
Yeah,
you,
we'll be
Jack. Right? Like the idea,
Oh, it's
Like,
milk. I don't like it. It's awful.
alcohol can make too much alcohol make anyone feel. Bleh. The idea of mixing that with dairy,
Yeah.
it's like my worst nightmare. So
I
don't
disagree,
think
man.
any tablet would do
If I could have Jack Daniels in fried eggs, I would be the happiest man you ever met.
Can you just quickly tell the people about tequila?
Tequila.
Your nipples. Or sambuca.
Well, there's a couple of alcoholic beverages that it works
Go on,
with.
tell them. Tell the listeners. Tell the fans.
So I used to have this shtick when I was in uni, basically, because I was poor. And like we'd be in a big group or whatever, and I'd be like, oh yeah, well, if I have a shot of vodka right now, my nipples will go hard in like less than 3 seconds. People would be like, nah. And I'd be like, no, honestly. So people would always buy me the drink, right? And go, let's see. So I'd pull my top up and then do the shot, and they'd just go, ping.
Honestly, like ping.
Vodka.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vodka, sambuca, tequila.
Yeah.
You
All of that.
He just, when he's excited, it's a good time to stop.
Yeah. So imagine putting fried eggs in the mix, man. I am going to be a happy.
That's
Happy
a nightmare for
So
everyone involved.
what is your
really.
what's your drink of choice? Not beer, just spirit. Your spirit of choice. Then, if you could have your favorite spirit, what would it be?
It'd be Christmas spirit. No.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. I don't know. I quite like a dark rum and coke.
Oh, bad news for me, that. That's a bad news for me.
Hey Wayne, did I ever tell you about me grandmother's harp? You know the instrument, like it's on the
Yeah.
Guinness,
Yes.
the Guinness thing. Did I ever tell you about that?
I'm sure this is going to lead into a really bad joke, but go on.
Hey,
No, it's roses.
don't ruin the joke, like killing the
Roses, yeah.
setup.
Roses.
Yeah.
Roses.
So-
no, Rose.
So me nanny Rhoda. So me dad's mum, she had this harp, right? And she used to play it and all that. And when we would go around, she'd always play this harp, which we thought was amazing, right? And she said, I'm getting too old to play this. So the rule is in the family that if you've got an elder son, it goes to them. And if you don't, it goes to the daughter, whatever. So years ago, she gave it to me dad. So me dad tried to play it. He picked it up a little bit, but he wasn't very good. So about 2 years ago now, he gave me the harp, right? So I can't play an instrument, me. You know what I mean? I can't play a thing, but my Mrs. Chelsea plays a bit of the harmonica, right? Which he does. And so last Christmas, she was like, all right, I know what I want for Christmas. I want the harp. And I said, oh, well, you can't have the harp.
The family harp.
The family harp, because it's got to go to the eldest son. That's obviously why Jack didn't get it. And then it would go to my eldest son. She wouldn't stop going on about it. So anyway, in the end, I gave in. Right, but we had a big fight over it in the end. Because last Christmas, I gave her my harp. And the very next day, she gave it away.
And
there you go.
for joining us, everyone. It's been a great show. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, this is what we're built on, isn't it? Awful jokes.
Let's talk about toys, Wayne.
Let's
What was your
talk
favourite
toys.
toy as a kid?
Oh, man.
Wayne, can I ask you, was you a wrestling fan growing up?
Oh, hang on. Let's rephrase that. I still am a wrestling fan. So yes,
You a wrestling fan?
absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
a combat
I don't watch
sports
it
fan.
as
That's how I sell it to the missus.
I don't watch it as much as I used to. But when
Can
I
I
was
tell
growing
you?
up-
Can I tell you the story, Wayne? Up?
Go on.
My mum and dad moved to Australia. I moved in with my auntie Jan.
Shout out Auntie Jan.
Jan.
I don't think she had the shout out yet.
No, God bless her. The best auntie we've got. Anyway, she is. No, but she is. Anyway,
Throwing shade.
Okay, yeah. So I'm living with her, and I'm big wrestling fan growing up. Tom used to have like SummerSlam 2000 VHS recorded on a tape, and I would watch the whole Attitude Era, right? Like as a 5-6-year-old, I'm watching all of 97 onwards, watching all them tapes. And then get older, and I am there to my aunties. I'm a rock star at this point where now I'm touring around the country, around Europe. Big following, really cool. Me and the missus been together a few years. And she walks into a room, and I'm watching a documentary on Chris Jericho. Y2J,
Man.
singer of what's this band called? Fozzy. Watching the documentary, and it was as if she caught me watching porn. I'm like this. She walks in. I'm like, whoa, and she's like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "Nothing." Turned it off quickly. And she went, "Is this a wrestling documentary?" And I went, "No. Yeah, it is. She goes, "What are you watching on YouTube?" And I was like, "Eh." And she went, "Is this like you pay subscription to it?" And I was like, yeah. And she was like, "So you pay to watch old wrestling?" And I was like, yeah. And she was like, "Okay." And that was when I knew she was the one way.
There you want to see it.
Well,
That's it.
Because I went from being cool to watching Break the Walls Down,
Oh,
Jericho. Yeah.
But
yeah.
it gets a
I'll
little
tell
bit
you how
better.
long I've
It
been
does
watching
get
wrestling.
better.
Go on, Wayne.
No, I'll tell you how long I've been watching wrestling for. I still remember watching the first WrestleMania.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. And number 2, number 3, back then, obviously, the whole Ka-Fey thing around whether it was real or not was still very much. Everyone knew it was fake, but they never admitted it, right? They never say it was.
It's still real to me, goddammit.
But you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, like, I grew
Yeah.
up with, Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man, Ultimate
Yeah.
Warrior, British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, all that stuff. And then, in the 90s, then the Attitude kind of era late 90s, should I say, the Attitude era came in. So, The Rock, Stone Cold.
So you were
Triple H.
WWF, not WCW.
What was that? Sorry?
You were WWF, not WCW.
Yeah, so it was WWF back then, but obviously WCW came in. But even when I was younger, my mates
Yeah.
used to get like wrestling mags, and was it TNA? Was it TNA
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Ric Flair basically was? So,
2009-ish. That would have been. That's when we went to watch in Florida. We were in Florida, and we went to watch TNA live in Universal Studios, and it was Mick Foley's debut. And Kurt Angle was there, and they just announced Kurt Angle had sold a story to The Sun about why he left WWE. So when he said Kurt Angle just sold a story, just had a thing with The Sun in the UK, and it was me, my dad, Tom, my mum. I'm like 11, and we just booed the shit out of it way now.
And they couldn't understand.
They couldn't understand why we were doing it, but they were like, The Sun newspaper. We were all like, boo. Yeah.
well, what's her face? It's an interesting one here. Like Rhea Ripley, right?
Yeah, the Aussie one, yeah.
She's from
Yeah.
Adelaide. She used to wrestle like the local indie circuits here.
Yeah.
And my wife's best friend, her son, he's a big wrestling fan. He was just down one of the local beaches here. People in Adelaide know when I say Glenelg, because they know what I'm talking about. It was about 2 years ago, and she was just walking around there. No one recognized her, but he saw her straight away, went up to her, basically got a photo with her and everything. But yeah, man, no, wrestling's awesome. Obviously, Mr. Cena said goodbye just a little bit earlier. I saw highlights of that. But I don't follow it like I used to. So as I said, I grew up very much from that big heyday when Hulk Hogan was bigger than life, and we had like a 1 hour
Bigger than
highlight show on
Jesus.
Thursday
Bigger than
nights.
Jesus.
Huh?
When he was bigger than Jesus.
44
Take your vitamin C prayers.
Hulkamania. Oh man, it was good times. Then we'd go to school the next day and we'd try and do these moves on each other in our, school uniforms, and the teachers and our parents would get very annoyed with us.
So we grew up Attitude Era way now. And
the best.
we had a fence outside of our house. And you're talking like the first TLC match, the Hardys, the Dudley Brothers, Edge and Christian. And we had this high fence. It was now in hindsight, it's probably 6 foot high. And I'd stand up on it and hit Tom, the Swanton bomb off the top. Wrestling's such a funny thing. I told Abby a story, my missus, the other day, about the first ever fist fight I was in when I was like 6 or 7. I tried to hit him with the rock bottom. And he was like, he literally was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "If you smell what I'm cooking, And
That's it. Did you raise the eyebrow?
luckily, he didn't hit me because he was so confused about me being like, "I'm gonna open up a can of whoop ass." What? Like he was just a bit like taken aback by it.
Yeah,
Did you,
right.
did you peel off the elbow pad?
Yeah, the whole thing.
So we had this babysitter called Mark.
Oh, what a fella.
Right.
He's great, man.
So I was basically almost old enough to babysit, but not quite.
Maybe I'm saying this is 2002, 2003.
Right.
So I'd have been 7, 8, and
Yes.
Tom would have been 12.
So Mark used to babysit us,
But
but
he was probably only 15, 16, weren't he?
oh yeah, but he was dead sound.
Yeah,
He was dead sound, but he loved the wrestling as well. So like, if we, because my mum used to go out and sing on a Friday and Saturday night, like
Where I get my talent from.
yeah. So
Yeah.
she used to do like the circuit with my auntie. So she'd go out and perform on a Friday, Saturday, and my dad was like,
Working away, or he'd be with them doing sound or whatever, yeah.
yeah. And so we used to play in that, and like this one time we were playing in the living room, and like we threw Jack up against the couch like it was towards the ropes.
Do you remember
and he
Spike Dudley? Spike Dudley would do the like thing, run off the rope,
Yes.
and then come down a bit like a diamond cutter and RKO, whatever you want to call it. And he threw me into the wall, and I was like, throw me into the wall. And I just fucking ran head first into the wall.
He left a big, like, massive Jack-sized head dent because he's got a fat head.
Huge dents in the wall.
But I remember, yeah, I
And
remember.
then I remember Mark picking me up, being like, "You're all right," and I was like, "Let's go again." And there was another one. My favorite wrestler was Triple H. So it was like Triple H had just returned. So this must be like 2001. He returned before the Royal Rumble, and it was the Motorhead song, and it was when this is how I got into U2. Like my story of getting into music is very much related to wrestling. Rock and wrestling is so big for me. And it was U2. They'd done the video Triple H returning from his quad, and it was a beautiful day. And that song, and I remember just being obsessed. And then he returned, and Mark was babysitting us, and Tom was there. And I stood up on the sofa and did the Triple H spray, but with juice, like cordial juice, and just made everywhere in the house sticky.
And we had to clean it off.
They had to clean it up.
Me, Mark.
But little shout out to Mark. I can't remember who he supported, but he bought Tom and I the tag team titles, like the little replica ones. So we were the tag team champions, really. What a guy.
And he bought himself the undisputed title.
Yeah, the rat, mate. The hardcore title. He used to turn his back and I'd try and pull it on him, but he'd always win. I always think rock and wrestling for me is like a big thing of how I got into rock music.
Oh, yes.
From
man,
watching
the
that,
Attitude Era
from
was
being a kid.
amazing. When
For sure.
around that time, probably early 2000s, who was it? Some local video distributor here in Australia got wind of the Liverpool website that I run, and they basically said, "Hey, do you want to like sell our stuff on your site? Like, put banners up, and we'll send you some freebies." I said, "Yeah, all right." So they used to give me like all these wrestling videos. So I had like these amazing like box sets of like WWF or WWE, like all 3D Attitude.
Yeah.
Stupidly, I got rid of them, but anyway. Nah, man, good fun stuff. I said the stuff that you and guys are talking about, mucking around in your house. I obviously didn't have family members who were that much into it, but my dad used to watch it with me. But at school, there was a group of us. We were nuts. I remember my friend once gave me a pole driver on the ground. I swear to God, he nearly broke my neck. But anyway, we didn't know.
No lasting effects though. I think.
And what was always funny, they'd be like, "Don't try this at home." But I remember Jamie, and he might be watching this. Jamie who grew up across the road from him, was big red, and last time I was home, I seen him. And I remember it was like WrestleMania 26, and I maybe been like 11, he was maybe 9. And they had the Rey Mysterio mask, and we had the first blood match in the back garden of my house. And I hit him with a pedigree on like a big stone, like a big what would you call it? Like a thing in the garden, I'm just gonna call it a big stone.
The stones that you put on the grass so you can step on
a flag, like a big flag.
Right.
A
You
flag
work in
and
construction.
I know, a big flag, and you call it. And I hit him with a pedigree on that. We had the first blood. I remember he came up off the pedigree and his nose was just busted, and he said, "I think I'm first blood," and I was like, Jamie, let's go and watch Rey Mysterio versus Batista or whatever it was. But yeah, no, I've always been interested to ask you about that. What do you know about wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good fun.
Because Tom and I still to this day will hit each other with some like, "My God, King, my God,
Yes.
he's gonna break him in half," and we'll just have a little wrestle match.
I think football commentary could learn a thing or two from
Jim Ross.
From Jim Ross.
Yeah.
Jim
You know
Ross.
who's doing my head in on the football commentary?
Sue Smith.
Sue Smith does annoy the shit out of me.
Of the penalty box.
Yeah, she does annoy me, to be fair. But who really annoys me is the main commentator guy, and he talks like this. Well, here we go now. Liverpool down the wing. You know, that him.
He played for Liverpool, didn't he?
No, that's Jim Beglin. I like Jim Beglin.
Yeah.
But he's the guy who's always with Jim Beglin.
Liverpool down the wing. And
I just... VAR will look, of course. Andy Apley on the VAR.
the bollocks that annoys me about all that is when they're like, and of course at the Optus, well, it used to be Optus Sport, to be, Liverpool it's 63% now, and you just be like, who gives a shite about it?
You hit on something though. Like when you think of iconic wrestling or even football moments, those commentators' words come to mind. You know, like the classic one in Gerard. Oh, what a hit, son! What a hit! Or like even in wrestling, like like Jim
My
Ross.
God,
Right?
he's broken in half. They killed him. They killed him. Yeah. No, but that's right. Even when he'd be like to Triple H, "You son of a bitch, Triple H, you son of a bitch." But that's like Martin Tile with Aguero.
I know.
Like
You
them
guys,
big moments.
you guys might be a little bit too young to remember, but my Scottish mate, sent me Van Basten's volley in the Euro
Van Basten.
finals
Yeah.
against Russia, which is just. And the commentator, as soon as I see that video, the words, Van Basten's waiting on the other side to volley it. And it just things just stick in your head, like those words come out. I'm trying to think of more
for me,
recent
where I
ones.
know I was Gerrard generation, very much Gerrard. Any ball that came out, Gerrard. But Tom would always say Van Basten. Van Basten!
Which is funny.
Always.
Because
Always.
Marco Van Basten was before my time.
But you knew the significance of it.
A volley was
You
always...
know what?
Yeah. You knew
Pound
the
for
significance.
pound, that play, if he had stayed fit, probably top 5 strikers of all time.
You reckon?
Unbelievable player. Oh yeah, unbelievable. He was a brilliant forward. Unfortunately, his injuries took the better.
Can I ask you, Wayne? I've seen a bit of there's a lot of rumours around Christmas. A lot of who's bringing the presents, who's, so on, rumours everywhere, myths, rumours, whatever. And I seen one about Maradona was supposed to sign for Liverpool back in the day.
Okay.
Have you seen that one, Wayne?
It's funny you say that because I saw that for the first time the other day. Someone actually mentioned that. So apparently, and then someone else said, apparently he was going to sign for Tottenham as well.
But it was post Keegan, was it? So it would have been for Dalglish.
I think, was this, I'm trying to remember if this was before he went to Barcelona.
I think it was.
I think it was.
I think
yes.
it's before Bas. I think it's when Keegan left. I think it was 81. I think. I read the same thing.
And I
Imagine that.
I just want to say this as an
I
old.
thought it was 78.
Just want to say this as an old head because I know a lot of people some people think different. A lot of modern people say Messi's the greatest player of all time for longevity and probably what he's achieved, maybe, but pound for pound, Maradona is still better. And I'll argue this because he might not have done it for as long, but what he did, I'm not just talking about the World Cup, what he did in Italy. All right. This is what a lot of people probably, maybe young ones, don't really think. They think Maradona 86. No. Great, but what he did in Italy with Napoli in then the toughest league in the world. Not once, twice. And Napoli weren't, a bad side, but they were decent. But you had the likes of Milan, Juventus, who maybe were going through a bit of a diss at the time, but yeah, unbelievable, that guy. Like, tough as nails. Like, used to get the crap kicked out of him.
mid-80s, wouldn't it? Because it would have been Falklands War. I think that was the reason he
Yes.
couldn't sign, was the Falklands War.
Yeah,
Yeah.
permit, yeah.
Yeah.
Late
You know
late
what?
80s with Napoli, but amazing.
Can I say this, right? And this
Yeah, early 80s.
this might be controversial. Should we go 81, like I said? This might be controversial, right? And I might get some stick for this. And I understand that I'm a later generation, right? So,
Just.
you know, the greatest players who were alive when I was growing up was Ronaldinho, Kaká, obviously Zizou, and then you get your Ronaldo and Messi, right? They're fantastic footballers. And you know when people say great players can play in any era, I absolutely don't agree with that, because I watched highlights of the '66 World Cup final, England West Germany, right? And the standard is diabolical, right? So I'm not saying Bobby Charlton weren't a great player for England at that time, but like nowadays, the way it is now, you cannot mislay a pass. Like I know fitness is a different thing now, but like the standard was so much better. People talk about Pele. Now I know there's a lot of people out there who love Pele. I get it, but I think a lot of it's a romanticism, because
Garrincha was better.
if that was the standard, that the two best teams in the world were England, Germany, and it was fucking shocking to watch.
Yeah.
Like they were the best team to
Pele
play
had
against.
a lot of good players in that team in Brazil.
Yeah, and
Garrincha.
also the thing with Pele is like he was counting goals, weren't he? That were like Sunday League.
You want to hear an amazing
That's
story?
like me, genuinely. Tom and I have been giving each other a hard time in the group chat. And Tom said I've got a 4% pass completion or some shit right there.
You could have played in the World Cup
And
final.
it's true, right? I probably did. I weren't a great ball playing midfielder. I grew up Gerrard era, Gerrard generation. Not a great ball playing midfielder. But then when I think about like players in generations or like in teams, I think there's no way, even like you go back 10 years ago, like if you go at Liverpool teams compared to Liverpool under Klopp or whatever, I'm like, there's no way he would have had the legs to run that team. And there's a big thing made about football not being as skillful anymore, and it's more about possession-based or tactical-based, and the players have to be fit and be able to run and whatever. But Jordan Henderson won the Premier League, won the Champions League, won Club World Cup, won all that from being a great pro who was a decent footballer, but a great player, and the fact that he could raise everyone around him and win the ball, get the ball to the players who could play. So, like, the whole thing about, like, Pele and people who look back always makes me laugh. And younger kids are like, oh, Pele's the best player ever. And I'm like, you never seen him play? I never watched Dalglish play. I've got the respect factor to know what my dad says about Dalglish.
Kenny was
Keegan.
amazing.
But I can only judge it on what I've seen. And Gerrard and Suarez, for me, were the players who I seen who did it. But there's a whole bunch of kids now at 11, 12 who Mo Salah is their best player they've ever seen. So, like, the thing of who's the best and who's the greatest, who can play in eras, it doesn't really matter, does it?
I was going to say
No,
very
it
quickly,
doesn't.
so didn't mean to keep you interrupting. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Pele. True story.
Oh,
Did you tell him he was shit?
did you tell him why you know? 1,000 goals, my ass, mate.
I said, "There's a boy that's not born yet. In the future, he'll say he reckons you're garbage, mate." Said a few
I'm
things
not-
in Portuguese.
We're not saying he's shite.
No,
we
I'm
just
joking,
don't think he
bro.
should count
But I did meet
goals
him.
from
I did
Sunday
meet him.
League.
True story. I did meet him.
What was
Shook
he
my hand.
like?
Huh?
What was he like, Wayno?
All right. So he had a book that he released in I think it was the early 90s, very early 90s. And me and my mate, old high school mate, we went down to the local shopping centre because he was doing a book signing. And we all lined up, and then the staff there said, "Oh, if you don't have a book, you can't, meet him." So they were ushering us out. He goes, "No." Pele gets up and goes, "No, come here. And he called us over and he says, "I'll shake your hand." I said, "Oh, cool." Yeah, shook his hand. No, he was nice. Didn't really say much apart from that, but there you go. My little claim to fame. And it all went downhill from speed.
It's mad how he was counting handshakes as goals, though, weren't it? Like,
But you know what? Pele never really played in a major league. Never played any major European leagues. He went to the US, obviously, and played with was it
New York Cosmos.
Cosmos.
So yeah. So
To be fair, though, for me, that picture of him in Nazi Germany in like 38. Was it 38, the World Cup there?
I think it was 33, wasn't it, the
Yeah.
Olympics?
And he's there in
No, it couldn't have been 33. No, 'cause
38.
no.
Whenever the
You're talking about
Olympics was,
you're
and
talking about the movie Escape to Victory.
I think you're talking about.
No, no.
I think it's from a movie. That.
no, it's not. He's there in Nazi Germany, and maybe it's not Pele.
It's a movie.
Are you-
Sylvester
are you
Stallone, the
To be
goalie.
fair, for anyone out there watching this, I've been on the piss all day for this Christmas
You're
round.
talking about Escape to Victory, where Sylvester Stallone is the goalkeeper.
Am I talking? Hold on. Am I talking about Cool Runnings? Sanka, you're dead man.
Yeah, no, I don't think he did. I don't think he did. There was a famous sprinter, wasn't there, who won the gold, and there was a big deal of it made at the time because
Yes.
it was said that Hitler refused to shake his hand. But what actually happened was that at the start of the Olympics, Hitler would only shake German hands.
That's right.
And the Olympic Committee said, you either shake everyone's hands or you don't shake anyone's.
Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens.
I'm
What-
gonna go for a way. Can I have a way?
Yeah, go for it. Wait, I'm gonna do a bit of other business. Leave your microphone.
What?
Yeah, that's safe, isn't it? I would like to give a massive shout out to Cheers Bar in Sydney because if you go to Cheers Bar, you'll see all of our Reds Down Under posters up there. And shout out to Wayne who made the posters. They look great. So if you're in Cheers Bar, you'll see that. If you go to Ka-Fey in Newcastle, you'll also see the same thing. So our posters are up, and I was in Newcastle with the supporters club this week to watch the Inter game. And they were fantastic there. The people at the cafe were amazing. Julian was amazing.
Yes.
And the guys at the club were really welcoming. So thank you to them. Thank you to
Yes.
Redboat Ventures,
Yes.
who, as I say every week, loaned us kit and helped us get started. So they've been absolutely amazing. And also to Wayne, like a proper shout out, mate, because you've done loads for this podcast this year.
It's worth it. You guys are doing an amazing job, and I'm love being a part of it. It's good fun. So
Oh my, I appreciate that. So if you want your latest news, you want to get your official merch from Liverpool Football Club here in Australia, go to the L Files or liverpoolaustralia.com. Is that right? That's right.
that's correct. That's correct, sir. That is very correct. You were going to talk about something before, about toys, but maybe wait till Jack gets back.
Oh, I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. It was about Jack and the wrestling. So you know he was saying that he had the subscription to WWE.com. What actually happened was Jack used to pay for a dog called Domino, who was in like a shelter, and Jack would pay like £9 a month or whatever it was to make sure that this dog got food and shelter and all that sort of stuff. And they used to send him photos like Domino says hello and all that. But he ended up cancelling Domino, the dog.
Why are you telling that story?
He ended up cancelling Domino, the dog, so he could get WWE.com.
Hey, I'm trying to make a connection there. He ended up counselling the dog.
He couldn't. He was only just starting work and stuff, so he didn't have enough money to get both. So he
Right.
ended up cancelling the subscription
cancelling.
for
Oh.
Domino. Yeah, so we could get WWE.com.
Can't believe you just told us story.
I know. All right,
Rest in
we'll
peace, Domino.
wrap up.
No, let's not wrap up.
What?
Wrap up. No, we're not wrapping up.
We are. We're gonna
No.
wrap up in
No.
a second. Wayne's got work in the morning.
No, we're fucking not, right? Let me tell you about that, Tom. Right? For anyone who loves the podcast out there, just hold that a sec for us, Tom, so I don't need this. Nice one, man. Tom has been asking consistently for one gift since 2005. Can you guess what it is wearing out?
Has been asking for a gift consistently since 2005. Okay.
It's a big gift.
Big
All
one.
right. So what? Let's
It looks a bit like him,
let's see
Wayne.
what happened in 2005.
Looks a bit like him, Wayne.
European Cup was
That
won.
was-
So maybe, well, it can't be a signed shirt because Carrier's one's behind you. Got a winner for that now. Congratulations to the winner too.
Well done, Rhett.
Yeah, and
Brett sold it back to us by this point, by the way, on this episode.
let's think what he would want. A signed Gerard shirt from 2005 in Istanbul.
Go again.
Signed Gerard shirt of a replica kit from Istanbul.
No, go again.
We're going to be here all night.
No. Go again. Go again.
Signed.
I'll give you a clue.
No.
I'll give him a clue.
I'll give him a clue. Looks like him.
Big ears. Replica.
Big ears.
A replica trope. No way. a
Replica
champion-
trophy. Yeah, replica trophy. And he keeps asking why now, and I was going to get him here. Until he blew me up about the WWE network, and he's not getting it anymore.
I think that a European Cup replica would look great in our little studio.
It would. You wanted the... look, we were talking about getting him the Prem one for the studio, but unfortunately, if Arsenal win it, is what it is. But the Champions League, that's ours, isn't it? 6 of them.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Look, let me tell you a story where I know all the people out there. Tom's 30th, I think it was WrestleMania, Florida. And I was getting him tickets to take me and Tom to Florida, WrestleMania. Just for our childhood dreams of being able to do it. And then COVID hit and we couldn't do it. And then I was like, all right, well, what do we get him? And I've always said to him, when it's ready, we'll do it. So next year it's in Saudi Arabia. So I just want to let you know on pod. There's no chance we're going to Saudi Arabia. We'll get destroyed in Saudi.
Arrested as soon as you land at the airport.
Yeah, it's in Vegas. It's in Vegas next year. Where I know I'm getting married. And nah, what if he bought him a suit? He's not getting it now.
Well, there you go. So look, people out there, start a GoFundMe.
Go for me for, well, Patreon.
Yeah. Well, we are. We weren't going to really mention this.
No, but I'm going to mention it.
We are looking at doing a Patreon because on Patreon you can have like a chat community.
Fan community, which you want. We asked you and you want it. So, yeah.
So we are looking at Patreon in the new year. It's been a great. So look, we started the pod in March, and it's been a bit of a big journey so far. I think that we
weren't expecting all this, was we?
No, it's been a lot bigger than what I expected. To be honest with you, the truth about it is I wanted to start a podcast because I felt a bit isolated from the Reds community. But to be honest with you, I wanted to start a pod so I could spend an hour every week with our kid, guaranteed, no matter how busy we were. That was it, right? So that was it for me. So I didn't really care
If anyone was listening.
if anyone was listening, right? And
That's good because no one. No, just kidding.
yeah, my mum does.
Yeah, and you were away now, and that's why you're here.
Yeah. So like, for me, it was like, I wanted to do something and follow it through. And I was like, well, I'm talking about Liverpool non-stop anyway. So I'm just going to do a podcast, and no matter what happens, I'll just talk to our kid and we'll get guests on from around Australia was my idea. We've had Jim Sonnefeld.
From Pootie and the Blowfish, which for me, I missed that episode. That was one of my favourite episodes. I don't weren't even there, and I wrote half the questions for you.
Yeah.
Like, that was a huge one.
Keith Salmon.
Keith Salmon.
Great one. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
Keith sent us a book as well.
Did he?
A signed book.
Something the cop wants you to know.
Yeah.
If you'll,
Buy his
that'll be
book,
another
everyone.
giveaway.
Buy his book.
No, we're going to keep that. We're going to put it up.
Keep it up.
Abby Rudkin, Chris Kirkland, George Sephton, the Voice of Anfield. These are people who I never thought we'd have on the podcast. And then, to be honest with you, I love all that. But my favourite stuff is talking to other Reds and stuff. And I think that's what we're really looking to hype up in 2026. What's been your highlight, Wayne, for the pod?
Wow. Look, we've had some big names on, but it's these episodes, the ones where we get to just muck around and have fun. I've loved coming on the show and having a lot of fun. So I can't say a definitive highlight, but when you look, actually, I will have a highlight. Sorry, it's looking back in retrospect when we had that first conversation. We didn't know each other, Tom. We had a chat on the phone. And we spoke for about, I reckon, a good half an hour, just gas bagging to each other and talking about things. And it just went from there. And, Max, our other compatriot, can't be with us tonight. He's obviously a big part of this as well. That's the highlight to me. It's this group of 4 people who kind of, just really just doing this and just blowing my mind. Just have some of the names and some of the shows that we've done so far. So, and can't wait till next year because we know some of the names we've already got lined up and we're not going to say who, but it's amazing. So, yeah, that's it. That's pretty much my highlight. It's just...
For me, Wayne, out, when you were first on the pod, I was going through a pretty bad time in my life. And I remember listening to that episode, me and the missus in the car, and I was going through I was in a bad place. And you were on the pod, and it was a great episode. If anyone wants to go back and listen to it, it's an amazing episode. But you spoke about Hillsborough. And you being outside of Liverpool, but understanding what it was like as a Liverpool fan or the people from Liverpool, how you felt with it, how you dealt with it. And I remember listening to that, me and the missus going, we get it, and the people get it. We all understand collectively what this is. And I remember calling Tom after it and going, that guy is really, really good, knows his stuff. And the way you so eloquently spoke about it all was a big point for me, because I was like, oh, this guy gets it. And then the people we've met through this journey, like I still remember, tore me meniscus playing football, and Tom rings me up, I'm off work, and he goes, yeah, could I start a Liverpool podcast? And I was like, yeah, okay. And he was like, yeah, you don't have to come on all the time, just when you feel like. And I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, I think you could do broader, do Premier League champ. He's like, no, just stuff good. I went, okay. I think it's a bit silly, just doing the full. And then now look at us, this many months down the line. Best idea he's ever had. Best follow through he's ever had. And when we're in meetings, the 4 of us, and we're talking branding and where we're going with this podcast, I can be proud of my brother. That's my older brother. Person I'm proudest of on the planet. That's my older brother. I'm so happy with all this, because I love doing this every week, just talking with him about Liverpool, but we do this without the podcast anyway. But I love that he had the vision, and we're seeing it through, and we're going, and we'll see where it takes us. And I'm proud of you. Very proud of you.
Thank you. It does. It means a lot.
And he's the best man at your wedding in June, So
Yeah. I think for
I
me...
mentioned Domino. All right.
no, I love you, Tom.
Yeah.
I love you.
Thank you. I love you too. I appreciate that. I think for me, we come here every week and we sort of talk and we open ourselves up a bit, to be honest. And it's quite vulnerable making, isn't it? In a way. I think, like, we always talk about mental health, and we try to be quite open about our mental health quite a bit. And we both had different struggles at different times. And we did the episode with Chris Kirkland, and we got a message through from a follower. And they were talking about how that conversation really, really ran true to them.
It hit home.
It hit home.
Yeah.
And I was telling me Mrs. Chelsea about it, and I was like, oh, got this message. And she was like, well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know what I mean? So I think, like, we try and come on and we have a laugh and that, but, like, there are serious things that we want to talk about on this pod as well.
Yeah, and we do when we can. We do when we can.
We do when we can, yeah.
Like, we try and offer as much of ourselves up to you when we can. Because, like, we are 2 brothers who love each other, who live on the other side of the world, and miss the thing, one of the biggest things that holds our family together, which is Liverpool. Watching Liverpool, going the game and doing all that. But the community we've built, And sometimes we get caught up in numbers and listenership and YouTube views and all that. But really, the core fans and followers we've got and gained from this, who we are close with, and we can name a few people like Wayno, you started as a listener, Maxie was a listener, Big Rig, Big Rig for me is the reason we make the podcast, is for people like Big Rig, because they are the bread and butter people who we made this for. And the way they interact and the way a lot of our fans and followers interact is why we do it. Because those messages keep us going, keep us doing it, and keep us believing that we can grow and keep going. So, like, thank you so much. And I still think it's a stupid idea, but I'm here whenever it can be. I'm so proud of this man and what he's built and the way this is going, because Anfield Rap, Redmen TV, BBC, Sky, whatever, this will be bigger. I'm telling you, this will be bigger.
God, if we're bigger than Sky, that'd be massive. We're going to topple Rupert Murdoch. No, look, I appreciate yous and I love yous. And I love Max, who couldn't be here either tonight.
Love you, Max.
I just wanted to say before we sign off, Reds, and I do genuinely mean it, thank you so much for being on the journey with us. When you send us a message, it really does mean something.
It's us who get it.
Yeah, it's us who get it, and it's us who respond. And to be honest, 99% of the time, it's me who responds to you. So when you send them in, thank you so much for sending them in, because that's what I want. I want to talk to Reds about Liverpool Football Club at the end of the day. It's been a big 2025, as I say. We've had some great highlights. We've had some challenges. Obviously, we lost Diogo earlier in the year. 2026, we've got so much planned. I can't say too much at the minute. But what I can say is, in the past, when I've said we've got big stuff coming up, we've always had big stuff.
Always delivered.
So what I can say to you is we've got some really exciting big stuff coming up in 2026. As I say, we are looking at Patreon. We are looking at bringing everyone together into a chat community. We're looking at loads of different options with that. So thanks for being with us. Stay with us in 2026. Win, lose or draw, we'll be back for even more. Wayno, thanks very much, mate. Have a cracking Christmas.
I will, mate. You too, guys. Merry Christmas to all our listeners and followers out there, and thank you. Just echoing what the brothers have said. Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure.
Assistant producer Wayno, who started as a listener, came on the pod, and then just so integral to what we do here. So yeah, like
Biggest fan.
you good man.
Love him.
But that's how all of this is fan-led, people-led, and yeah, God bless you.
Yeah. Yes.
When this comes out, I'll be in England, freezing my ass off.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Reds, enjoy your Christmas and have a great New Year. Reds Down Under are still going to be making content. I'm going to try this. You ready? It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, there was an old fella in Adelaide called Wayne, and in Sydney, two brothers who were Scouts. Up the Reds. Merry Christmas.
Up the Reds.
Merry Christmas.
Reds, thanks so much for watching this episode. We really enjoyed making it, actually. If you haven't already seen it, don't forget to have a look at that George Sephton, the Voice of Anfield interview that we did. 54 years as stadium announcer. The highs and lows that guy's seen is absolutely unbelievable. So do have a look at that. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Get in that. Let's keep it going and let's keep it growing.
Up the Reds.